Welcome back to Low Stress Math with Mrs. Bono. We are on Book 2, Chapter 3, Writing Linear Equations and Functions. Functions are basically equations at this point in your life, but they get more interesting later. And they have an input, a rule, and an output. We will talk about that more in a bit. First, we're going to do Lesson 1, the slope formula. Now, I know what you're thinking. You're like, I already know the slope, Miss Bono. It's rise over run. You're right, it is. But this is just a way to do it a little easier. So your job, I want you to look at this, and before I start talking, I want you to think, what is that slope? What is the rise? What is the run? All right. To find the slope on a graph, Jose chose 2 points, 3, 5, and 9, 7, and he counted the rise to be 2 and the run to be 6, and he used those values to set up his ratio, 2 over 6. Then he simplified it to 1/3. How, using the y values in the ordered pairs, how else could he have found a 2? Now these are the ordered pairs, 9, 7, and 3, 5. So let's just write those down. 9, 7, and 3, 5. Those are my 2 points. And what are the y values? The y values are the second value in each one. So I could do 7 minus 5 to get 2. Now let's look at the x values. Using the x values on the ordered pair, how else could Jose have found the run of 6? Well, this is the x, and this is the x. Let's see, 9 minus 3 is 6. So he could have subtracted the y values and subtracted the x values to get 2 over 6. Okay, if a linear relationship contains 2 ordered pairs, and we're going to call them x1, y1, and x2, y2, just for simplification, and it doesn't matter which one you call x1, y1, and which one you call x2, y2, the slope can be found using the slope formula. This, I'm going to grab my highlighter, is the slope formula. M equals y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. The first y value subtracted from the second y value over the first y value subtracted from the second y value. So, looking at this, I need 2 values. I'm going to take this one and say it's 2, 4. -4, -1. And this is going to be +2, +1. Okay, so let's call this down here x1 and y1. I'm going to call this, get out of there, highlighter. Getting in my way again. I'll call this x2 and y2. Now, it doesn't matter as long as you keep your x2 and your y2 together and your x1 and your y1 together. What do I mean by that? Well, you see how it's y2 over x2 and y1 over x1? That's what I mean by together. So let's start with my y2, which is 1, and my x2, which is 2. Then I have y1, which is -1 over x1, which is -4. So here's how I'm going to find the slope. y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Ooh, I have a lot of double signs there. Keep change, change some signs. Keep change. I'm going to add the inverse because I don't like having double signs there. And minus and negative is the same as plus. So I'm going to do 1 plus 1 over 2 plus 4. Now I have 2 sixths, which reduces down to 1/3. Those are equal. So there's my final answer. M equals 1/3. Okay, let's check that. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It is 2 over 6. It is 1/3. Yay, us. All right, next page. Here's how we're going to do this. We're going to label the ordered pairs with x1, y1, x2, y2. And I like to do that with colors. See, that the colors make it easy. Oh, you can't see. I'm looking at something you can't see. Here we go. I like to do it with colors to make my life easier. I like to say, all right, y2 and y1 are going to be blue, and x2 and x1 are going to be pink. x2 and y2 are going to be pink. So that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to say here, you're going to be x1, y1, and you are going to be x2 and y2. Now my formula is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So y 9 minus y1, and x2 7 minus x1 3. All right, pay attention to signs. I did that on the other page. So, but you see how I have my y2 over my x2 and my y1 over my x1? The colors help me realize that they stayed together. Simplify. Well, let's subtract first. 9 minus 1 is 8, and 7 minus 3 is 4. So now I have 8 over 4, which I can simplify to 2, because 8 divided by 4 is 2. So M equals 2. Yay, us. Now you try it. Remember, you're not going to learn math unless you do math. So try those 2 problems. Don't do the checkpoint, just do these 2. Use the formula. Welcome back. I hope you tried some problems. So let's be consistent. We're going to call this x1, y1. I always like to keep the colors sort of, the same. And x2, y2. All right, now I'm going to do y2 minus y1, x2 minus x1. So y2 is negative 5, x2 is 2. y1 is 1, x1 is 4. Now I have to subtract. It's going to be y2 minus y1, which is negative 6, and x2 minus x1, which is negative 2. Negative 6 divided by negative 2 is positive 3. So M equals positive 3. Okay, now this one. y2, 4, x2, 6. So I'm making a fraction with the second number with the first number already. And now I'm going to subtract y2 minus y1. So 4 minus 2, x2 minus x1, 6 minus negative 3. Oh dear, double signs again. So now I have 4 minus 2 over 6 plus 3. Going to keep, change, or add the opposite, or realize that double signs, change it. Okay, 4 minus 2 is 2. 6 plus 3 is 9. So my slope, M, is 2/9. All right, let's try the next one on the bottom. Now that's a checkpoint. We went over those. Now it's time. Try again. Have you got it? I hope you have it. Here we go. y2 x2, and we're going to be subtracting over y1, negative 2, over x1, 4. So 0 minus negative 2, 0 minus negative 2, 4 minus 4. Keep change, 0 plus 2 over 4 minus 4, 2 over 0. Now remember, when there's a 0 in the denominator, this is undefined. If I grabbed my calculator, I put it in my calculator, which you can be doing that all along, by the way. I'm pretty good with my little brain, but I'm going to use my calculator. And 0 minus negative 2 over 4 minus 4. And I get divide by 0 error. When it's a divide by 0 error, it's undefined. If you're ever not sure, just grab a calculator and go there. All right. Ooh, lots of problems. Lots and lots of problems. All right. Love it. Here we go. Find the slope of the line that's passing through those points. Here we go. X1 and Y1. X1, Y1. I'm going to do that for all of them. Yes, I am. I labeled it every single time. Why? Because if I don't, I will make a mess. And for this one, I have to actually take it off the picture. Can you see the picture? Let me put my glasses on. Yeah, I did mess that up. It's negative 3, positive 3, and 2, 0. So this is going to be x1 and y1, and this will be x2 and y2. Yeah, you got to take it off the picture. It's a little hard to read on the picture, so that's what it actually is. But let's go back up to the top and label some more things. I label everything with my x2 and my y2. If you don't label it, you're going to end up getting it wrong. Just do the right thing. All right, for the first one, I'm going to write the formula down just to help me. M equals y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. And I remember that the y's are on top because y is vertical and it's rise over run, and vertical is rise and run is horizontal. So the y goes up and down, the x goes right and left. So that's why the y's are on top. All right, so here we go. 1. I'm going to do 1 minus 4 over 5 minus 3. 1 minus 4 is negative 3. 5 minus 3 is 2. So I end up with negative 3 over 2. That's my slope. For this one, it's going to be, oh, you know what? I'm going to write the formula again. I'm going to write the formula every time to help me remember it. M equals y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. See, the more I write it, the more likely I am to remember it. That's just my brain, though. So, 2 over 5, y over x, and negative 6 over negative 3. And then I'm subtracting y2 minus y1, x2 minus x1. So I had a lot of negativity going on there. Keep change, or add the inverse. I guess add the inverse is more mathematical. 5 plus 3, add the inverse. 2 plus 6 is 8, 5 plus 3 is 8, 8 over 8 is 1. My slope is 1. All right. try some more here. Write the equation. M equals y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. And I have 9 over 9 over, get the right color there, 3 minus 5, 3 over 5, and 9 minus 3 over 9 minus 5, 6 over 4, which is 3 over 2. My slope is 3 over 2. All right, let's look at this one. Write the formula. M equals y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. 1 minus negative 7. 1 minus negative 7 over negative 4. I like my dividing bar to be that way, yeah. Well, negative 4 minus negative 2. All right, keep change. So 1 plus 7 over negative 4 plus 2. 1 plus 7 is 8. Negative 4 plus 2 is negative 2. 8 divided by negative 2 is negative 4. My slope is negative 4. Oh, that's not horrible at all. Here we go. Let's look at this one. Remember, write the formula. M equals y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. And I already labeled everything. I took the numbers from here. And so 0, 2, minus 3 over negative 3. 0 minus 2 is negative 3. 2 minus negative 3 is 5. Negative 3/5. Okay, let's take a look at some more stuff. Yay, keep going. Slope from a table of values. Oh, yes, let's do this. Slope from a table of values. In ordered pairs, find the slope. You need 2 ordered pairs. But what if you have more than 2 ordered pairs? Plot these ordered pairs so that you can find the slope. Okay, so x is 0, y is positive 1, x is 4, y is positive 3, x is 8, y is positive 5, and I cannot graph that last one, but that's okay. I learned to live without it. Now, connect the points, and here we go. There we go. And let's see. But we won't always have a formula to plot points and find slope. You can always use the slope formula. Well, let's first do this. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. My rise over run is 2 over 4, which is going to reduce down to 1/2. So my slope M is 1/2. Now I could have done that without the graph paper. I could just pick 2 points. I'm going to pick the first 2 points, and I'm going to call this x1 and y1, and I'm going to call this one x2 and y2. And I think I just did that backwards color-wise. Of course I did. Well, it doesn't really matter. My slope formula, M equals y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So 3 minus 1 over 4 minus 0. 3 minus 1 is 2. 4 minus 0 is 4. And M equals 2/4 goes down to 1/2. And I have the same exact answer as I had on that side. So, I personally think it's easier to just pick 2 points and use those to find the slope. My preference is positive and small numbers. So I would usually go with x1, y1, because 0 is easy, and x2 and y2, because, small numbers. 8 minus 6, y2 minus y1, 2 minus 1, 1 minus 0, x2 minus x1. 8 minus 6 is 2, 1 minus 0 is 1, and my slope m equals 2. Yay! Now horizontal, it's essentially the same thing. I'm going to have, again, I'm going to skip over to where there's a nice 0 and do x1, y1, and x2 and y2, and y2 minus y1, 2 minus 4, over x2 minus x1, 4 minus 0. And I get -2 over 4. And when I reduce that down, I get -1/2. Woo, -1/2. Not bad, not bad. Okay. Next. Your turn. Checkpoint. Go ahead, try the problem. I'll wait for you. I think you can do this. It's not too bad. Again, I like to pick positive numbers, and my preference is usually 0, so it doesn't matter which 2 numbers you pick. x1, y1, x2, y2, and I'm going to write my formula down. Y equals y, what did I write? Y equals, I was going to write y equals mx plus b. That formula is not helping me in this situation. M equals y1 minus y2, I lie, y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1, and 2 minus 2 over 0 minus 3, and I get 0 over -3. When the 0 is on top, this is a 0 slope. All right, now let's try this one. Again, I'm skipping all this negative stuff, and I'm going to pick x1, y1, and x2, y2, and 1 minus 2, 1 minus 2 over 5 minus 2. And I get -1/3. 1 minus 2 is -1. 5 minus 2 is 3. Slope is -1/3. That slope is 0. Alrighty then. Here we go. Again, I'm going to write the formula every time I use it. And I'm going to pick nice small numbers if I possibly can. x1, y1. They don't have to be next to each other either. It's just easier that way. x2, y2. M equals y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So 18 minus 12 over 3 minus 1. And 18 minus 12 is 6. 3 minus 1 is 2. 6 divided by 2, m equals 3. Not awful. Oh, look at this. All the x's are the same. That's interesting. Huh, I wonder what that's going to do. Here we go. x1, y1, x2, y2, And let's see. Let's do some subtraction. Y equals, ugh, why do I keep doing that? I don't even know. I know. M equals y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Y2 minus y1, 4 minus 6, over 3 minus 3. And I get -2 over 0. Ooh, that is a divide by 0 error. And that means this one is undefined. Oh well. Okay, your job, should you choose to accept it, you have no choice. Lesson 1, independent practice for homework. I'll talk to you soon. Take care.